guys, this is Ruben from Dutch Round 1. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching another episode of Dutch Round 1. Today we will be speaking about the future in Dutch. First of all, a little bit more about the conjugation. Then I'll give you some examples. And thirdly, I'll speak about the difference between the verb zullen and the verb gaan when used in the future. But before all that, remember to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you want more content. I appreciate the support and it's also completely free. But without much further ado, let's go straight for the future in Dutch. Okay, so how do we form the future in Dutch? Well, the future tense consists of a conjugated form of the verb zullen or gaan. Okay, so zullen or gaan will be our auxiliary verb. Okay, and then afterwards we place an infinitive. What is an infinitive? It is the verb in its purest form at the end of the sentence. So it's very, very close to the English expression of the future. Will plus an infinitive. The only thing what changes, of course, are the auxiliary verbs and also the word order in the sentence. Let's take a look at both verbs which express the future in Dutch. So first of all, we will take a look at the verb zullen. So as you can see, zullen is the infinitive. On your left side of the diagram or the graph, you have the personal pronouns in the white column. Then in the light blue column where you see the T and the T, that would be the tegenwoordige tijd. That is the present tense. So that would be the conjugation of the verb zullen in the present tense. And then the V and the T, that would be the verleden tijd. The verleden tijd is the past tense, which we use for the conditional. Today, I only want to speak about the future. So we'll only be focusing on the T and the T, on the tegenwoordige tijd. And then underneath you will see voltooid deelwoord. What is the voltooid deelwoord? That is the past participle, and the verb zullen does not have a past participle. Okay, so I just want to go over the conjugation so you can get familiarized a little bit with, or you can get familiar with the conjugation and also the pronunciation. Ik zal, jij, je, u, zult. I want to make a little remark there. You can also use zal. Zult and zal, both of them are correct. So you can mix them, both will be grammatically correct. And then hij, zij, ze, het, zal. Okay, and then as we know from the conjugation of the verbs, in the plural the Dutch verb does not change. So it will be wij, we zullen, jullie zullen, zij, ze zullen. So please remember, this is the auxiliary verb. This would be the equivalent of will or shall in English. If you want some more information regarding the conjugation of verbs in Dutch, I've got a great video about it on my channel. Check it out, and I hope that I can make your life a little bit easier. Alright, then we will check the verb gaan. I'll just move here so it's a little bit clearer for everybody. Okay, the verb gaan is also used to express the future. Alright, I just want you to remember that zullen is the more official one. Gaan is not so official, but we use it more and more in the Dutch language, and I will be speaking about this in a couple of minutes. Okay, so ik ga, that is I go. Jij, je gaat, that would be you go. Hij, zij, het gaat, he, she, it goes. Wij gaan is we go. Jullie gaan, you go. Zij gaan, they go. Okay, that is the conjugation of the verb gaan in Dutch, which means to go. Okay, now I'm going to give you some examples, and I want you to focus on the position of the infinitive, alright? Because in English, for instance, the first sentence, I will buy a book. As you can see, will is your auxiliary verb, buy will be your infinitive, and they stay next to one another. In Dutch, we don't do that. In Dutch, we will put our auxiliary verb in front, next to our subject. Ik zal, okay, and we also conjugate it according to our subject. However, our infinitive, the verb in the purest form, basically we put at the end of the sentence. So that is the difference of the word order. In English, you'll put them together, as you can see, will buy. In Dutch, you split them up. Your auxiliary verb is going to the front and your infinitive will go all the way to the end of the sentence. This is a bit difficult, especially for foreign-speaking people learning Dutch. Just remember, auxiliary verb has to be in front. My infinitive has to be in the end, or at the end. Okay, and then basically I'll go over the next examples. Jij zal zwemmen. Jij zult zwemmen. As you can see, both are correct. You will swim. Hij zal een brief schrijven. He will write a letter. As you can see, schrijven, that will be your infinitive. So again, we put it at the end. Wij zullen morgen reizen. We will travel tomorrow. Okay? So in Dutch, again, morgen will be placed between your auxiliary verb and your infinitive, which goes at the end of the sentence always. Okay? Jullie zullen linksaf draaien. You will turn to the left. Zij zullen naar Kos vliegen. They will fly to Kos. Okay, so this is how we express the future. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty similar to English. The only thing, please put your infinitive at the end of the sentence. Okay, and then for the last part, I'd like to speak about the differences between zullen and gaan. First of all, I want you to remember zullen is the official one. Okay, so if you only learn one auxiliary verb, okay, to express the future, and you express the future in Dutch always with zullen, you'll always be correct. There's some small grammatical rules, which of course we have to talk about. They are valid, you know, they are there. But if you learn zullen and you can express the future with zullen, I'd be very happy. Okay? However, you will hear, especially in spoken language, that a lot of people sometimes use gaan as an auxiliary verb to express the future. And this is more popular in Belgium than it is in the Netherlands. In Belgium, we use gaan for everything. So I think it's worth your while to find out the differences between both. Okay, so as we know, zullen is our go-to auxiliary verb, okay? But gaan, when we use gaan, we will express the future with gaan with action verbs. Now, what are action verbs? Action verbs are verbs like to call, to do, to walk, to visit, to cook, like activities, right? So an activity, an action verb, then you can use gaan. You can say, ik ga bellen, ik ga doen, ik ga 10 kilometer wandelen, ik ga mijn ouders bezoeken, ik ga pasta koken. So basically, I'll call, I'll do something, I'll walk 10 kilometers, I'll visit my parents, I'll cook pasta, and so on. So then you can also use gaan. So now we are going to speak about the rise of gaan with non-action verbs. What are non-action verbs? Non-action verbs are verbs which do not imply an activity, such as zijn, to be, such as hebben, to have, such as worden, to become. Some examples. Ik ga om 10 uur thuis zijn. I'll be home at 10 o'clock. Ik ga veel kleren hebben. I'll have a lot of clothes. Ik ga later dokter worden. I will become a doctor later. So is this 100% correct? Not really. I mean, in written language, in perfect grammatical language, you would use the verb zullen as an auxiliary verb. Why do I speak about it then? Well, in Belgium, especially in Belgium, in Flanders, where we speak Flemish, this is very popular. When people express the future, even me, we will use gaan quite a bit. In the Netherlands, it's not as popular. You can hear it from time to time, but it's not as present as it is in Flanders. I just want to finish it off by saying that zullen should be your go-to verb. Okay? If you want to express the future, just think about zullen. Just know that gaan is out there and that you can use it grammatically correct when you use verbs of action such as to call, bellen, to do, doen, to walk, wandelen, to visit, bezoeken, to cook, koken. Okay? So that was a little bit about the difference between zullen and gaan. And then we come to the end of this lesson. As always, thanks again for watching. Thanks again for stopping by. I appreciate the support. I hope you get some value out of it. I hope I make your language learning process a bit easier. And don't forget to give it a like, subscribe for more content. And as for me, as always, thanks again. Keep it 100 and see you for another episode of Dutch